Hi, friends. Have you ever been confused about how to record deposits in QuickBooks Online? Bookkeepers, today I'm going to be training you of how to properly do this. If you don't do this correctly, then you're going to be overestimating the revenue, the sales in the roofing company's business. And so we don't want to do that. Plus, it causes a lot of errors in QuickBooks that then you have to go back and clean up. And I always do my best to put it in right the first time, so I'm not spending a lot of time going back and cleaning up customer accounts and errors, the things that do not match in the bank feed after I have received a payment from a customer for a roofing company. So in today's video, I'm really just going to break it down, and then we can see exactly how this works and how QuickBooks software works. And that's what you want to go by. You want to work the way the software works, and then you will have a happy business. I just want to remind you, I have some free resources for you. If you're ready to get started in building your bookkeeping business and specializing in roofing or construction, either one, there's a link for my Certified Roof Bookkeeper.com program. And I offer a free call, and we can see exactly what your goals are, what you're looking to change in your life, to get more freedom in your life and time, and have a very wealthy life and build it to a six-figure income. And then I also have our free QuickBooks Online accountant link that you can click and get started to have your own bookkeeping account with QuickBooks Online for your own business. Then I also have a QuickBooks Online link that you can start a roofing company in QuickBooks Online and start setting up that roofing company, just like I'm training you through these videos. And the reason why we want to do that is it gives us great practice of when we do get our first roofing client, we know how to do everything. We know how to get them set up, connect their bank account, how to go through their bank feed, how to do job costing, and many other things for the roofing company so they can earn a higher profit. I also have on School a free roofing bookkeeping community. And so I have some resources, and it's totally free. So you can sign up for that if you would be interested in getting to know other bookkeepers and how they started their business and how you can also grow your business. And every Thursday I come in there and answer questions, or I do a training specifically for the community. So it's a great opportunity to get started without any cost to you and see if it's something that you are interested in or you really want to learn about. Let's get to our QuickBooks. We're going to take a step back as well, and we're going to put in some invoices. So the first thing that we can do there is we can click on the accounting that is right here on your left-hand side. We are on the dashboard in QuickBooks, so anytime you need to start back to the beginning, just click your dashboard. You have accounting, expenses, sales, customers, payroll, team, projects, and inventory. You can also click the accounting button down here on your left, and then it will bring you to the same menu. So we'll compact that. And we can go on our left-hand side. We have all of our accounting. We have the customer hub. And down here, we have projects under team. So we could click on projects. I have added Joe Smoke in this project. The project, I give it a number, 2530, the customer's name, and then I haven't issued any new invoices for Joe Smoke. But let's click here to add a new project. And what's this project? Let's make this 2531, our next project. And who's this project for? We can just do the drop-down box. We have Jill Smith. We don't need to put her email address, and just for dates, I'm just going to put from 9/1 to 9/23, and you can just keep it in progress. Any notes, I'm just going to say example of customer job costing and profits. Okay. And you could turn on the address for the project and put whatever you needed to here. We will just put United States. United States. And we're just going to put 123. And then just click save. We can go back to all projects here. We can see Jill Smith. Click all projects. And now you'll see the two projects here. Okay. So now let's go ahead back to where our customer hub on our left-hand side here, where we're getting all our information from, or instructions, customer hub. And then let's go to customer. Now we're going to create an invoice for Jill Smith. So let's create the invoice. You could have put in an estimate, but our last video was on that, so we won't go through that. Now, when we get to her invoice, Jill Smith, you will see Jill Smith, the customer, and then the project, because if you did several different jobs for Jill Smith, you could give them different project numbers like 21, 25, 32, 25, 33. But this is the project we're working on. So we'll click that. We're not going to put in an email address. And we're just going to put this invoice as of 9/1. Okay. And we have it down as just due on receipt. We could put this 15 days there. If we wanted to choose a territory, we could choose a territory, or we can add a new territory if we would like to. And our service date, we're just going to keep with 9/1. Our product, we're going to do a retail roofing. Quantity is 1. And we're going to say this project is $12,000. Okay. Then we see the amount there, and then our class would be roofing sales. Now we're just going to save and close. So now you can see Jill Smith, we have an invoice for $12,000. Now we're going to go to Joe Smoke, and let's create an invoice for him. QuickBooks just wants me to receive payments through their online systems, but we're not doing that today. So Joe Smoke, so we can look at his project 2530. Let's do it there. Our dates can stay the same. We'll do this one at 15 as well. And for this one, we'll say our date is the 5th. Our products and services, let's say this is a roofing repair. And then you could put in any description you want to. Roof repair, example, put reflash chimney and missing shingles. just as an example. It's what a roofer might do. And then our amount, say this one is $500. Our class would just be roofing sales. So now we have $500 there. So we're going to save and close. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we want to receive a payment. So for Jill Smith, say on 9/14, 9/15, we received, and then payment method, say she gave us a check. And then let's say this is for deposit to start. QuickBooks only lets you have a certain amount of characters in that reference number. You could put a check number, anything like that that you want to. Now, we are going to always be putting any money we receive on an invoice from a customer in our undeposited funds. So you always want to put it in your undeposited funds. Now, on this one, she paid us, say, $5,000. So now it has the invoice we just made out, and that is checked. That's what we're receiving payment on. You see the invoice number and you see the job number and the due date, original amount, and open balance, 5,000, sorry about that. Okay, and then you always want to make sure there is an amount to credit, okay? You will have an issue if you are applying any credit here. So now we're going to click Save and Close. Now we're going to go to Joe Smoke and we're going to receive a payment. Say we did that job, and I'm going to put check 2365 we received from him on 9/13. It's going to our undeposited funds, the same as last time. He paid the full amount, so we don't need to change the amount received. Anytime you do need to change this amount, just highlight it and then type in whatever amount. And then you want the amount received, 500, to match the payment 500 here. Sometimes if you're changing payments and you just take the default that QuickBooks gives you, this number will be, say, $12,000 instead of 500. So now what we're going to do, we're going to save and close. Smoke doesn't owe anything. Jill Smith owes $7,000. But the next step in our process here is we're going to click this Create button. It has a plus sign. You'll see customers, vendors, team, other. We want to go to bank deposit. Now we want this money deposited into checking account or Wells Fargo. And we want to do this on the 16th. For an example, that the roofing company, they got two checks. They've got this check from Jill Smith for the $5,000. They've got this check from Joe Smoke that's $500. And they also got a cash deposit, which they didn't create an invoice for, but they did another small job where someone gave them cash. And then you can just put cash repair. And then you can add the amount, which is $400. $450. And then our class just would be roofing sales. Sometimes received from, since we're not keeping track of some of these small repairs, if we didn't put an invoice in the system, then you put cash customers, enter that in, and then just add a cash customer into our customers. So anytime we have cash customers, we can easily just enter that in. So we want that $450. And the benefit of doing this, if you had just taken $5,000 and deposited directly into the Wells Fargo bank account in QuickBooks, then you would have in the bank feed a $5,000 deposit. But the roofing company deposited 2 checks and cash. And so we need that to match what's in the bank feed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to check the Jill Smith and Joe Smoke. Actually, the roofing company deposited $5,950 into the checking account. So we have $5,500 and the $450 cash. So now we can save and close this. We'll open our menu back up again, this little hamburger. So we'll expand that. Now we're going to go to our bank feed. So let's go to accounting and then go to bank transactions. Okay, and it's loading it. So now with our transactions we had here, now QuickBooks will actually find the deposit that we just did and match it up for us. But if we would have made a $5,000 deposit directly into our QuickBooks bank account, then it would only be $5,000 here, and it would not match what the bank says that we deposited. We click and open up this transaction. You will see the suggested match, and then you'll see the deposit. And if you want to take a look at that deposit, just click deposit. And then you'll actually see that deposit that we actually did. We take a look at that. We know, yes, that was correct. We had a check for $5,000. We had a $500 check, and we had cash for $450. We can go to our deposit here, and we can click match. Anytime you want to take a look at your bank register, you have your bank, just have it highlighted in the blue, go over to your right, go to bank register, and then you will see all the transactions in your bank register. And we will be building on this in the next 4 videos as we are going through this. So now let's go back to bank transactions. But that is the way that you can do your bank deposits and not have any errors in QuickBooks. So just always remember, when you click your plus create here, go to your bank deposits, and then click off where you have received payment, or if it's cash or you didn't create an invoice, you can add it to add funds to this deposit. That is the simplest way. We're always tempted, like when we are receiving payment, say that we're going back to our customer, and then we're going to Jill Smith, we're going to receive payment. And always make sure if you have projects that you've clicked the drop-down box, click the project that you're receiving payments, and then deposit to, just to make sure you don't have Wells Fargo checking here, that you actually have undeposited funds. This is like the biggest mistake that bookkeepers make with deposits. If you receive a payment through this process and you receive it in the bank feed, then you'll duplicate that. You need your receiving payment to match that deposit in the bank feed for that specific amount. If I was going to my bank transactions and I see this deposit for $8,000, if I took this deposit and put it straight into retail roofing, then I have bypassed receiving the payment on the customer ledger that we were just in. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to receive it through the bank feed like this, because when you go back to your customer hub and customers, you want to be able to take a look. Say, for instance, Joe Smoke, just click on his name, and you can see the history of all the invoices, the payments, the estimates, and all of that. So we want to be able to see all of this information, because many times we have to research customers for roofing companies because they had a change order or something changed with that job. So we want to be careful and to do that. That is very critical when you are doing bookkeeping for a roofing company, to know how to properly receive payment and how to match it up with the bank feed, especially when a roofing company is on AccuLinks or Job Nimbus and they're taking a lot of payments on credit cards. You have to be able to match all of that up to match what got deposited into the bank account. And these are some things that I further teach you, that is from beginner to intermediate, of how you do these things in the Certified Roof Bookkeeping Program. So I can go into detail with you on that. Thank you today, and I appreciate you watching my channel. Thanks for everyone that's been joining my channel. I had quite a few subscribers that have joined, and I am very thankful that I am helping you and learn bookkeeping and learn the roofing industry all at the same time. But be sure and take advantage of the free resources that I do give you, and it's in the description, where you can get a free call with me and we can go over your bookkeeping business that you want to start or that you already have, and you're trying to find a simpler way to do it. Because it is really difficult when you are trying to do bookkeeping for a lot of different industries, because then you're having to learn 10 different ways of doing bookkeeping and accounting when you're doing it in multiple industries. But we keep it really focused and really simple, that we're just helping roofing contractors and other construction contractors, and their accounting methods are basically done the same way. And in construction, it is different accounting in construction. So it's really crucial that you learn how to do it if you're going to serve the construction industry. And then also be sure, if you don't have the QuickBooks for accountants that's free, make sure you get that for yourself. And then also join our free roofing community over on School. And I will be loading a good bit of videos in there so you can easily access everything you need in there and help you. And then on Thursday, I have a Q&A where you can ask me any questions that you would like. Then also there is a link for QuickBooks Online to start with a roofing client. Go ahead and get everything set up in there. That is an affiliate link, and I do get a small commission on that. And I do appreciate you using that link, because it helps me support this channel and create these videos and teach you and teach me. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will speak to you in our next lesson. And so we are actually going to be converting invoices. Okay. Well, thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.